middle of the bat, type of, producer. And he's just too good, and he cares too much. You know what? Probably the best thing that happened that we took away the uncertainty, went in there and scoped that shoulder. He knows that he's okay, and he's done the work. He looks great. There's a certain way I feel like he needs to look to be the most productive he can be. Because he's so strong. I mean, he's country strong. It's just his build, his makeup. I think like anything else, this spring, he's going to have to, work his way back up. Gain some confidence, because it is a fragile thing in this sport, because the sport is such a sport of failure. But he's going to be okay. I feel strong that we've got the people to help him do that. He's been doing the work mentally, fundamentally, and physically, which, that's how we break it down. So I have every reason to believe he's going to be okay. I don't care if he gets off to a bad start, because I still feel like he's going to be okay. It goes back to the 162 game theory. I think I'm going to have to discipline myself to keep a close eye on him, make sure we get breaks every now and again. But overall, I think he's going to be okay.
Yes, sir. Another question regarding one of our players that are currently injured, and that would be Jake Westbrook. And if you could give some sort of synopsis on where exactly he's at, especially based on the surgery that he had. And historically, pitchers are better the second year after they've recuperated from that. And then the second question would be for Eric. You did an outstanding job, I thought, the second half of the season. And I'm just curious as to the approach that you took and how you relayed that to the rest of the team to have the disappointing start that we did. And I'm sure just as much for you as for the fans, but to keep them as focused as you did and finish off the season, the second half, as literally as weak as it was the first half, as strong as we were the second half, and I think that's very commendable to you.
Well, first with Jake, he had Tommy John surgery back in June of last year. Thankfully, Tommy John surgery is, at this point, with the advances in technology, it's a very reliable surgery with over a 90% success rate. The challenge with it is that you really can't speed up the timetable. It takes a solid 12 months, especially for a starting pitcher, for him to return. And it takes discipline, especially in a case like Jake's, who he's feeling great right now. He wants to try to push the envelope forward, but we have to be cautious in the sense that with Tommy John surgery especially, you can't expedite the timetable because you're setting yourself up to have a setback later or down the road. So Jake's progressed very well in his rehab. We expect that he'll be back at some point around June of this year and be able to contribute in the second half. It is true that he'll be back and still be able to be a very effective pitcher. He probably won't be 100% until the following year, but still should return this year at a very good level. And before Eric touches upon the second part of your question, I think because Eric's humbled and won't toot his own horn, for us as a front office, watching the way the team played in the second half of the season really is a tribute to Eric and the guys in the clubhouse. I think you saw there were a number of other teams that were maybe in a similar position that we were in July and didn't play that same way down the stretch. They didn't have the same respect for the game. They didn't play every out of every game. And I think, again, last season didn't go the way we had hoped, but I think we all had a collective sense of pride with the way those guys finished and played out the season. That's really a tribute to Eric and the guys in the clubhouse.